peace. Today's Friday the 11th, which makes today's math knowledge, all being born to wisdom. Okay? When your knowledge is acknowledged by others, okay, your wisdom, your words, your ways and actions are supreme and appreciated. Okay? So use your knowledge, okay, and make others acknowledge your knowledge through your ways and actions and your words. Peace. All right, peace. Welcome back to the Not a Mean Godcast. Lord Jamar.
Digga.
Your girl A-L to the E to the X.
Yeah, to support the show, go to cash.me/$you know what I mean, or patreon.com/you know what I mean, or paypal.me/Lord Jamar. So we're back. So like we said before, you know, a lot of this Kanye shit seems to be a distraction from some of the other things that are going on.
Right.
Like, Israel and Iran, that whole Zionism shit.
There's real wars brewing in real life.
But right here we have, American citizens, the people of Puerto Rico, okay, who, were devastated by the fucking hurricane and all this type of shit and are still suffering to get back on their feet. And now there's damn near a fucking revolution going on over there in the streets with the police and tear gas is being shot at the people and all this. From what I understand, they're raising tuitions.
Well, yesterday was what they call International Workers' Day, or May Day, as many people know. It's the first of May every year, and there were protests held all over the country. But this one in Puerto Rico, I guess, is specifically concerning because of the fact that, number one, the island is still recovering from a hurricane that happened almost 8 months ago. The island still does not have full electricity, running water, the basics. And on top of that, there's still $72 billion in debt. So on Monday, a financial plan was ratified by the federal board that oversees their government and their finances. One of the things two of the big things that they were protesting yesterday is the closure of 280 more of their schools. There's only 1,100 left because they closed several hundred over the last several years because of their bankruptcy. Wow. So now there's only 1,100 left.
The storm ravaging.
This was before. And so they're closing 280 more schools under this financial plan, and they're raising tuition at the University of Puerto Rico from $56 a credit to $115 a credit. So basically doubling tuition for an island of people that's still $72 billion in debt, and that's still recovering from a hurricane that happened 8 months ago.
Right.
I mean, they just had an island-wide blackout last week.
Wow.
So most of the island still doesn't even have the everyday resources like electricity and running water. And now you're talking about closing schools and raising tuition.
Right. And where is all this footage and coverage of this on our nightly news? Here,
it's being marred
on
by
the mainland. Right. We're talking about Kanye's mental health
all day.
And all this bullshit when there's real shit going on out here in the world.
There certainly is. And it's sad because it's almost nowhere near President Trump's radar. It's nowhere near on his radar. And, the people of Puerto Rico have been asking the federal government of the United States to basically bail them out of debt and make them a state. Give them the rights that all the other states had. If Puerto Rico was a state and not a territory, the federal government would have had to bail. They wouldn't have had any other choice but to bail them out. That's why they don't want to give them status as a state. They keep them as a territory.
Right. That's crazy.
Alex with the facts. I'm like, yeah, so all I know is they don't have electricity. That's fucked up, yo.
They're literally... I mean, we talk about being on an island, but even that, I mean, when you think about what it takes to entire grid of the island, the entire electrical grid of the island was destroyed in that.
That's so crazy.
In that hurricane. But I mean, it's sad that they're even still in this state, but to go ahead and close schools and raise tuition to an island that's already suffering so much is just deplorable.
Well, shout out to, everybody out there that's
doing drives.
Yeah, drives.
Yeah, so
Fat
the,
Joe.
The hip hop community. Is
J-Lo,
definitely,
people of that nature. I know
Right.
they're out there definitely doing their thing and trying to bring some relief.
Yeah, they relaunched
to the island and
right,
people of Puerto Rico.
Recently, they just recently started welcoming people back because tourism is their only saving grace at this point, right? Their tourism,
right?
Their tourism economy. That's their only way that they're going to basically stay.
I was just gonna ask, like,
they had just, but then they had that blackout last week, which was the first island-wide blackout that they had since the hurricane. But they had just gotten enough of the resorts and the electric system up and running to start welcoming tourists back. So they ran some. I remember sitting there watching TV and seeing some of the ads for Puerto Rico. Welcome back. We're ready to welcome you back to the island. All the trying to drum up this tourism.
Beautiful island.
And they just
I had a
keep
ball
getting.
in Puerto
They just
Rico.
keep getting mollywopped.
Well. So, I don't know if you heard, but the guys from Starbucks who got kicked out the Starbucks settled.
For how much did they settle, Jamar?
How much did they settle for?
$1.
Here, $1.
Oh!
$1
Each, or they got to split the dollar?
$1 each.
They got a dollar each.
$2.
Wow. For getting arrested, publicly humiliated.
Okay, but so
$1.
They can't even share a cup of coffee for $2 out of Starbucks.
No.
$1. They got to go to the dollar menu at motherfucking McDonald's. Because they ain't got one at Starbucks. They ain't got no dollar menu.
No.
So
You can't
better
even
go to the motherfucking dollar menu at da-da-ba-ba-ba.
You can't even get a coffee for $1 at McDonald's. It's $1.07 with tax. So you're 7 cents short for McDonald's coffee.
Well, they might have to panhandle
That's right.
for that
Outside.
7 cent.
Have to get that
Ain't
7
get
cent
locked
up.
up for that.
You got any soda?
$1.
Oh, come on now. Look out for a brother, man. Come on. Hey, check this out. Why don't you let me get a sip for 15 cents?
Right.
But there is a good side to that
Go
story.
ahead.
That was actually their choice. They decided to forego any funds, and $200,000 will be donated to a nonprofit organization that they created that will assist young entrepreneurs in Philly. So shouts out to Donte Robinson and Rashon Nelson. They're both 23 years old.
Well, actually, I didn't hear that they decided to forego any funds. I actually heard that there was a settlement with an undisclosed amount that they might have received, and that $1 was from the city or something.
No, okay. So there's two settlements.
Clear it up for us. That's what you're here for.
Right.
Fact checker.
That's what I'm here for.
it said they will. Okay, so for the city, they will release the city and employees of all claims.
But
there's
Starbucks,
two
there's
settlements.
exactly.
There's
Okay.
that
And we don't know
settlement.
what they got.
That's
from
from the
Starbucks.
city.
That settlement was from the city of
Right.
Philadelphia. The settlement
That's from the actual cops.
And that city,
Right.
That's dealing with that's the whole
$1.
interaction with the cops.
$1.
That's what that's
so
about.
in exchange for that $1 settlement, they've made an agreement for the city to set up that $200,000 fund for young entrepreneurs in the city of Philadelphia. But they
But now
also,
Starbucks.
That's
a horse of another
Right.
color. That's a frappuccino of another flavor.
right. It is caramel. Goddamn.
Okay. That's a venti.
Soy milk, almond milk. No, no foam. They settled with Starbucks for an undisclosed amount of money.
Exactly.
So, whenever you hear undisclosed, that's just chang, chang, chang.
Like, I ain't gonna say
Cha-cha-chang,
nothing, but
chang.
trust me, it was enough to keep me quiet.
And on top of that,
But they smart. They in Philly. They know they better
but
not
these
start
brothers
calling
are
numbers.
doing the right thing. Check it out. On top of that, Starbucks is sending. They apparently have some kind of agreement with Arizona State University. They are going to be sending the two young men to Arizona State to finish their bachelor's degrees tuition free. and they get to meet with former. Well, I wouldn't say they get to, but they're going to meet with former federal attorney Eric Holder to discuss Starbucks' efforts to teach their employees about diversity.
Translation: teach them how to teach them how to interact with
not
black
be
people.
scared of niggas. Teach them how to not be scared of niggas when they walk into this motherfucker.
You know, they're very bronze, so you know you can't be intimidated at first sight.
Right.
It's really a teddy bear underneath all of that
these are
raging testosterone.
You know what? These is. I mean, these two brothers have definitely set an example, and I mean, I think they're doing a great thing.
And it's unfortunate that these aren't the things that are dominating the headlines, along with the unarmed black man, you know, de-arming the white terrorists. Like shooter. These are the things that should be dominating the headlines.
And that man put up a GoFundMe to pay for their funerals.
Yes.
For the funerals of the victims.
Right. But we're not a word about this, because we are just being marred and overshadowed by all things Kanye.
Well, why?
Why are we putting this much stock into celebrity? And you know, I had to ask myself the same question, like, why do we care so much about what Kanye thinks about politics? Like, honestly, me personally, I care as much about Kanye West's opinion about politics as I do Trump's opinion of rap music. So it's like, why do we care this much? But I understand why people do care, because he, you know, for those inner city, you know, people, he does represent something. He was a voice at one point, you know. People really look to rappers sometimes as mothers, fathers, important role models. I get that. But I think what people forget also, that we are dealing with imperfect, flawed human beings. Like, a lot of people have a hard time separating the art from real life.
Listen, you know, my theory.
Bill Cosby.
And we were talking about
great
this.
legacy. He raped some chicks on the side, but that's you see where I'm going. It's like,
you know, my theory on this is, when we have no real leaders right now, we have no real moral and spiritual leaders, and us, especially as original people of this earth, we're used to that. Like, that's part of our dynamic. That's part of how our culture. Now, when you remove these moral and spiritual leaders, you got to replace it with something. You see? So it's like the lead singer, okay, came out of the church. The lead singer was the deacon. He was the person at the front. He had a choir behind him. All these black churches, you know, the reverend, the pastor, them motherfuckers could sing like a motherfucker. I've never been to a black church where the motherfucker couldn't sing, right? Have you? Absolutely not.
You name it.
Okay? And motherfuckers could sing in a big. So,
praise the Lord.
Anyway, so it's like, but and that's supposed to be a moral person. You see what I'm saying? But now we know preachers and all of that. Now we sliding, okay? But now you're not even doing preachers no more. Now you're just regular R&B singers, and then you got rappers. You see what I'm saying? Like, and so we're replacing people that were traditionally in a more moral and spiritual place with people who aren't moral or spiritual at all.
Right.
And
we're so taken aback when they do nigga shit. I mean, not just black people nigga shit.
Listen,
but
we live in
I'm using the term nigga shit. Like,
society. In a society, we're taken back when
beat wives, cheat, rape, kill. It's like, but they make great, but they do great work. it's like we have to stop putting so much stock into these entertainers. And maybe I can say that easily because I grew up in a 2-parent household, mother, father, married. So I could clearly distinguish real life from fantasy.
Right.
And unfortunately, there are a lot of people that only have that to look at. They only have a Cosby Show.
You see, as a frame of reference.
So I do get that. How do we fix that? What do we do about that? Can we mute the? It's like social media has fucked everything up. Remember, you could just be the greatest artist of all time, and then you found out how much of a dickhead they were after they died. Like, well, first, social media has fucked it up for everyone.
I think part of the first thing you can do is be the moral example of what you want to see in others. If you feel that, some shit is wrong, then show what you feel is right. You understand? And be that example to people. That's the first thing that we all need to do, because revolutions start with you. You see what I'm saying? They start with us. It's not an outward thing. It's not something that we can find somewhere.
Right, like stop looking to other people to fix what's wrong in the world.
Well, that's part of seeing yourself as God. You see what I'm saying? That's part of taking responsibility for yourself as the creator, and if you are, then you don't have to look outside yourself for others to create for you. You know that everything in your universe you've created. And
I think I'm sorry, I'm gonna cut you off. I just want to say, I really think we need to stop being so fascinated and entertaining this bullshit too. Like I said earlier, it's like we know we're gonna do something crazy. Here go the mic. He's done like 4 or 5 sit down interviews since that first tweet. It's like, we know we're gonna get something crazy out of him in this interview. We know we're gonna get something crazy out of him in that interview. It's like, once upon a time, when people did that, they went away. I'm gonna give you an example. 1997 MTV Awards. Fiona Apple got on stage and was like, "Oh, this world sucks, and I just want to say, don't believe everything you see in this world." And basically, she was trying to say all this shit is fake. Fuck this bullshit. Good point, but it came off wacky. It came off wacky. You ain't never heard from her ass again. Example number 2, Sinead O'Connor. She burned pictures of popes. She burned flags. She shaved her head. Never heard from her again. Now she's popping up. She popped up on Facebook.
She's in a motel in Jersey.
Yeah, she popped up on Facebook about to commit suicide. But it's like, we mute these people. It's like we take the energy away from them by not entertaining it. But for some reason, we are overly entertaining Kanye.
Well, again, I don't want to be in the we category. You see what I'm saying? That's why I don't even want to put too much stock in this shit.
Right. Because we just basically did a whole episode on Kanye.
In a way.
To your point,
but we're scared. But it's more about the things surrounding him more than just him.
I don't like. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I can subscribe to you're not the first person to think freely, Kanye, but okay, I can subscribe to the going against the grain and whatever else you're trying to say. I can subscribe to all of that. Thinking
outside the box. Yeah, we get that.
We get
you're not
that.
the first one to think of that, though, bruh.
We get that.
like
I don't like the examples he's using. Like, I don't appreciate him trying to diminish Obama's capacity to get kudos from Trump. I don't appreciate him, co-signing as the whack bitch Candace Owens. Like, your ploy is just going a little too far, and I don't think he was prepared to answer everything. That's why he was speechless. When my man, like, I think that might have been, I know that's not the first dose of reality he got, because he got it from John Legend. He got it from T.I. But I think in that moment, I really felt like, wow, he he said some shit that really touched him, and he wanted a hug. Like, you know, I think Kanye needs a hug. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Kanye needs a hug. I'm sorry, I wanted to hear what you want. She was going to say something. I want to hear what she was going to say.
No, I was just going to say, to your point about not looking to celebrities and looking to yourself and knowing that you're the God, or knowing that you're the earth, and all of those things still have to be taught. Not everybody, you know, like Malcolm X said, like, if common sense was common, everybody would have it. Like, these things that we just think are common sense that the rest of the world should just know, we have to really come to grips with the fact that these things have to be taught.
It's learned behavior, but we have those people. It's just, who is society choosing to focus on? Right. We have Michelle Obama, but for whatever reason, we're focused on Black China. Who's she pregnant by now?
I said, what? She said, yeah. I said, no.
It's like, this is what society is giving its energy to, and that's what the kids are, you know.
That's exactly why you
energy
have
that they're
to
picking.
Real quick,
you have to be taught otherwise.
Real quick, we some hip hop motherfuckers. You just mentioned T.I. What'd you think of that fucking song with Kanye and T.I.?
That beat is rocking. No, that's not the Poopity Scoop one. Yay versus the People. No, that beat is sick. I want to rap to that beat. What do you think of the song? I think the song is basically just echoing the same sentiment that it really is. That it's him.
Is it a good song, Rah Digga?
No, I heard the song
lyrically. I think
don't be ducking and dodging out here,
I'm not ducking and dodging.
You know what I mean? Godcast.
I'm not ducking and dodging. T.I. ripped them, and I like the beat. I think Kanye's talking crazy. I think T.I. ripped him, and I love the beat.
That song sounds good on paper.
Do I want to hear it?
T.I. and Kanye, that shit sound good on paper. When I heard the song, I was not impressed at all.
I mean,
it was a lot of poopity scoop to me.
No. I
know, but it still was poopity scoop.
I'm like, wait, I'm like,
my best friend, she always trying to shut me down. Like, I don't.
Girl, you know that's another song. You talking about the
I
wrong
know. I'm
song.
just making sure.
Girl, I heard it.
Poopity scoop.
It did sound like a lot of poopity scoop to me.
That beat is fire. I like the beat.
I gotta hear it again. It just it didn't move me. That's all. And I like both of them separately. You know, they both got dope shit on their own, but that just wasn't a good combination with them on that particular record.
I think the topic is just too sensitive. It's like in case you didn't miss my tweet, here go a song I laid down in the studio about it. In case you didn't hear the song yet, I'm gonna go on TMZ. It's like the content of the record is fucking with me. Outside of that, I love the track.
Real quick before we be out, this motherfucker also tried to tweet out some fucking meme of Harriet Tubman, where supposedly Harriet Tubman said, "I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they were slaves." Harriet Tubman never said that. Okay?
Wait. They're saying that's what she said?
There's a meme that was put out there, and it started around 2016, around the time that Harriet Tubman was supposed to be put on the $20 bill. That's when this meme really started.
Okay.
The quote had tried to been attributed to her. The first time you might find that is around in the 1990s. Nowhere can they find where she ever said any bullshit like this. But to try to, I guess, back up some of the shit that he was talking with this whole slavery is a choice, he tried to tweet that out as if Harriet Tubman had said that. But then other people called him on it and was like, bruh, she never said that. And so, yeah, we're calling you on that too. That was never said. So don't pull shit out your ass to try to fucking justify your bullshit. And on that note,
he's definitely in too deep. But what I would like to take away with this, black people, beautiful black people, please let's not be dismissive of mental illness in our community.
Absolutely
like we
not.
can joke about it, we can debate about it, we can speculate, is he crazy, is he not crazy? But at the end of the day, mental illness does exist in our community. It happens to regular folks every day. It damn sure happens to celebrities. So let's not be so quick to take that off the table.
Listen, I'm sure a lot of
we're
us,
watching
we
him
keep it real. We
implode.
got people with mental illness in our families.
We're watching him implode literally, and we're discussing everything except like he really is having a meltdown.
No, I mean, I think people are very clear about that. I just think it's like a train wreck.
But
you can't watch, you can't turn away.
But it's being
Exploited.
It's being exploited as crazy Kanye, not like, yo, get this man some help for he really.
Well, guess what? He got enough
something.
money
Right.
to get some fucking
He got
help.
enough money,
How about
got
the
a
people out
family.
here with mental illness that don't
Right.
even have health insurance and all this
How
other
about
type
that?
of bullshit? So it's all relative. You know, we can cry for Kanye, but there's a lot of people out there who is a lot worse off, and you know, it is what it is. But I hear what you're saying. We got to get ready to go, man. It seems like it's never enough time. I know people feel like, damn, y'all should just go ahead and do 2 hours. Not yet. Y'all gonna have to fork over, you know, some bread in order to get it going that long.
Make Kanye great again.
Or more frequently. Once again, if you want to support the You Know What I Mean Godcast, go to cash.me/$, you know what I mean, patreon.com/you know what I mean, paypal.me/Lord Jamar. So yeah, once again, for the You Know What I Mean Godcast, I am Lord Jamar.
And I'm Digga.
I'm your girl Foxy Alex 1.
Peace. Peace. It's the absence of all confusion. United we stand, divided we fall. 2 fingers together is the real peace sign, y'all. Brand Nubian peace gear. Hoodies. T-shirts. Snapbacks. Available at hoodcheap.com. Get yours today.